You're watching The Bald Guy in the Red Tie.
Great marketing is great storytelling, right? So here we go. Once upon a time, there was a fish, a cat, and a dog. They all were wanting to do something better to enhance their lives. All of them wanted a better life, something different for themselves and their families, and thus they sought out an opportunity. Something different, something that they could do to be the best, so they searched for someone to tell them what to do. They found someone of greater wisdom and set out to change the world. They were told the following: Fish, if you want to be successful, make money, and do all the things that you want in life, then all you have to do is climb a tree. Right? Okay. Likewise, the cat was offered the same misguided wisdom. Cat, if you want to be successful in this new path, then you must learn how to swim across a river and make it to the other side. However, when it came to the dog, the wise giver of wisdom told him something different. You see, the dog, my friends, was told to hang out all day, eat food, enjoy oneself, relax in the sun, take naps, sniff around the backyard, poop in the grass, play fetch, and allow yourself to be pet. Give joy to your owners when needed. Be there for them when needed. Be happy to see them when needed. Go for walks, bark at things that don't seem right, and at all costs, give your company and joy to your owners when you need most. With love, care, and enthusiasm, and that, my friend, will make you successful. Well, here's what happens. Done with that page. The fish tried climbing a tree, but just after a short time, suffocated and died. Good Friday morning to you. You see, the fish tried to do something that wasn't natural to them and was impossible, and thus they died. The cat, despite its best attempt to swim across the river, eventually got tired and drowned. This is not going very good in the morning, is it? I'm here to encourage you in every way possible. Could a cat swim across the river? Yes, but the energy spent was wasted and unnatural, thus they died. So that leaves us with the dog. The advice given to the dog, in a sense, was to do what came naturally to the dog, and thus the dog went on to live a very happy, prosperous, dog-like life. The moral of the story is, if you keep trying to do what you can't do, you will fail. Do what comes natural to you, be yourself, and you will succeed. That and the fact that most advice that you get in this business will be wrong. All right? So that starts it. So the question is, John, what do you do to generate business, and how do you manage your time and your activities, right? Because as they proudly promoted, I work about 20 hours a week and make about $200,000 a year. So before I get into how I do that, the main thing I want to address is why I do that. I'm currently 34 years old. I am the father of 3 young boys. And if you have young boys, you realize that they're very active and they're very busy, right? Well, for the first 5 years of this business, I was Mr. Workaholic. I would work 12 to 20 hours a day, anything to get the deal done. You know, even when you're not physically working, you're still mentally and emotionally working. And I was being drained, and I was being completely sucked of my life, and I hated it. Can anybody relate with that at all? Everyone's like, I'm not raising my hand. So, about 2 years ago, I started to realize that although I was being successful in this business, I was not having any quality of life. So if you don't have quality of life, what are we really working for? Right? You could be successful, you can have 100 transactions a year, you can make $1 million a year, but if your family doesn't know who you are, then you've absolutely failed. Okay? And I was getting to that point where I couldn't remember what we did for the kids' birthdays. I'm sure it was Disneyland, because if you follow me on Facebook, my wife's always at Disneyland. But it just really occurred to me that I only have this small window with my kids right now to spend time with them and to start planting seeds of greatness inside of them, because in the next 10 years or so, 15 years, they're going to be out of the house. And at that point, I'll still be in my mid-40s and I can go for it, right? So I started to ask myself, what can I do to still be productive but work half amount of the time? Because in real estate, this business will absolutely consume you and just suck you dry. So, as you know, I'm the bald guy in the red tie. So it really started in the beginning with the branding. I was able to stand out amongst the crowd, and that's one of the most important things. And Daniel, if you can get the video queued up. And you also know that I'm known for the social media and the videos. So what I started to do over the past few years is I started recording videos. There we go. So I started using videos to leverage my time, because in real estate, are there things that people will ask you over and over and over again that could easily be just done with a video, right? We pretty much get asked the same questions every single time. So once you learn that recipe, I started to realize, well, maybe I could just start altering my time by sending them the videos, the commonly asked questions. Now, what was cool with that is that would actually position me as an expert within my clients' minds before they even met me, or if we're still in that engagement phase, the honeymoon when you're getting to know each other. So here's an example of one of those videos, and it's played by Daniel. Say what? So what happens when you want to buy a house, but you have a house that you need to sell first? Well, that's called a contingency. Now, I'm a master expert at contingencies. In fact, last year, I did a deal where it was 5 houses that had 6 contingencies and 2 30-day rent backs. So if one of them fell apart, they all fell apart. So if you have questions about a contingency, reach out to me, I'll answer them.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And let's see. What's that next one? Okay. So I'll let this, wait, pause it real quick. I'm going to set this one up. So what I started doing is I started creating series of videos. And so that one was called Ball Guy Red-Tie Says What. This next series is going to be called Real Estate is Not a 4-Letter Word. And for some of the sensitive ears in here, there are no cuss words, but there's a pattern interruption that you'll notice right off the bat. And start to look at the psychology of the video as they're designed to really engage and to be different and to be set apart. Because great marketing is about being different. And so here's this video.
Welcome to the f***ing show.
Woo! Greetings, Red Tie community. It's the bald guy in the red tie. That would be me. And Mr. Chris Wiggins, the world's greatest real estate lender that's ever walked the face of the earth. Woo! Is that accurate?
I'll go with that, John. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And good morning, John.
Good morning to you. Hey, in real estate, sometimes there are 4-letter words that are thrown around like craziness. And one of them, recently, was a 4-letter word called rate, like as in interest rate. So, Mr. Wiggins, I know you have a lot of strong feelings about interest rates. Why don't you inform us about what's going on?
So there was an article in the paper not too long ago, and it wasn't that C.J. Charles was having a sale.
Might want to turn it upside down. There you go.
It was the Fed boosts interest rates for the first time in 9 years. It was earth-shattering news. Look at the size of the font. Everybody was going crazy, right?
Oh my gosh, the sky fell.
I think you used the word mayhem. That was a good word.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
So the Fed raised the short-term rates. What's that mean for us? Well, I mean, some of us think the sky is falling, like you said, but in reality, all is well.
Remain calm. All is well. All is well.
I mean, rates are going to tend upward. Economic cycles go up and down. So as our economy is recovering, things are good, rates will tend up, and that's just what happens. But as you'll notice, look at the graph here. Rates over the last 3 months, they're pretty flat. Even after the big news came out, they actually got a little better. That's because it's not earth-shattering news when the Fed does this. They do this to control an economy, but as far as our home buyers go, those looking for homes and those needing to finance homes, it's okay. The world's okay. We're going to still be able to find you a home. Rates are still awesome. So take your time, let John do it right, and we'll get you into the home of your dreams.
As always, fantastic information. Thank you, Mr. Wiggins. So if you are freaking out about the interest rates, guess what? The interest rates, it's not like the Grinch stole Christmas, okay? See how we tied in the tie? It's a tie joke. Anyways, real estate's not
a good tire.
Well, I thank you. I'm professional. Real estate is not a four-letter word. So if you're using a lot of four-letter words, keep watching these videos. We'll take the frustration out of the process because real estate is not a four-letter word.
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. That's it. Chris Wiggins, Ball Guy Red Tie. See you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the f***ing show.
Woo! So video brings a lot of leverage to your time and also your advertising. So for example, the reason I like the videos is that you get a residual effect from it because it's an evergreen video. Basically, I can drop these videos on social media whenever. I have videos that I've done as of like 5 years ago and I still promote them and people see them. And so all those breadcrumbs are spread across the ocean of social media. And so now I just get those phone calls of, come list me, I want to buy a house, all that kind of stuff. So the biggest chunk of my time that I save is on prospecting. And Mr. Christian Stone will be talking all about prospecting. And I know it sounds so counterintuitive that I don't prospect, but I do prospect in the fact that I do the video marketing. And the thing is, if you're going to do something, just do it very well. And there's Mr. Chris Wiggins, by the way. Yay, you missed your video spot, dude. Oh, man. That's why you should get here on time. Yeah, exactly, right? So that's the biggest part of my time that I save is on the prospecting. And then also in the answering of questions I do with the videos as well. Now what's great is when you have the YouTube videos and you have the app on your phone, you can actually send those videos directly to their text messaging. And so that just really impresses your clients, and the clients really like that. And especially, I want to talk about this too, is that know who your demographic is. My demographic is the 25 to 40-year-olds. The first-time home buyers, the people with 2.5 kids and a dog. I fit that criteria so well, and they like to be entertained and engaged. And so that's what the videos also do, is that they entertain them, but then they educate them, and then they feel empowered to go make a purchase or to sell their house. So those are some of the things that I do. And by the way, has anybody else noticed that Ben Affleck is here? Am I the only one that's noticed this? I keep staring over at him, just like. Look at him, turn red. Look at that. Red check, red check. All right. Now, some other things I want to do, because I am the king of shameless promotion. Where are all my bald-headed friends at? All right. Well, first of all, I saw this guy earlier today, so I wanted to give you one of these. Here, you're kind of bald. You need a fresh shave. Ho! Oh!
Thank you.
I like them ties. There he is. Those things don't fly well. Oh, Michael Martina. So, other things that I do is, like I said, marketing is about being different. So all the real estate agents need to be wearing red ties, just like this.
Wait. Can I put it on right now?
You can. Now, does anybody else know that I wrote a book? Yes, I wrote a book. So I'm going to pass these out to the first person that can tell me what was my last real job. Pachanga, that's right. What is my favorite color tie?
Red.
How many houses has Christian Stone sold? 36.
76.
76? How many are you up to now? 87. That was like last week, so he's probably up at like 200 by now. 91. 91 houses. Anybody say 91? 91. And speaking of celebrities, Ben Affleck. I want to talk about the guru of all gurus, the kingpin of real estate training and coaching and brokering and managing. And he's trying to avoid eye contact because he knows that I love him so much.
Piss off, Butler. Piss off, Butler.
Oh, Wes. I love you, Wes. He doesn't like attention. All right, so that's about my segment, and that's how I do things in 20 hours, is I just do funny, creative, different marketing, and then it comes back to me. There you go.
I'm next. Oh, you're next. Oh, no.